He does not figure in the scoring. Can only be saved by the bell in the final round.
All right. Jose Luis Valarde on your left. This is only his second fight in the U.S. He is from Mexico. The last one was against Michael Carbajal. Scotty Olson took a couple of months off after his last fight in Montreal against Abe Garcia, where he won a 10-round decision, went back home to Edmonton and relaxed. Jose Luis Valarde, who expects Scotty Olson to be giving him a lot of pressure tonight. Scheduled for 10.
In what we must report is a very small ring. And if it doesn't have as big an impact on the little men here, it will on the heavyweights that we see later on.
18.5 feet inside.
Scotty Olson has always been a man who puts a lot of pressure on early, of course, at his opponents.
And going right to the body.
That's how he does it.
In looking at tapes of Valarde, the Olson people noticed that he had a tendency to switch occasionally to southpaw. The Valarde people say, no, we won't switch.
They denied that vehemently. I could have swore I remember him switching against Carbajal, but maybe I was in a time warp. I don't know.
Break leg, come on, punch out of there.
Here's on the inside where Olson really wants to work, and where Valarde actually needs to work. That's why I suggested the uppercut might be a big weapon.
Come on, break leg, let's go.
And Vic Draculus will have his work cut out for him, Sam. Normally with the little guys you don't think that, but he will have to be very diligent.
A quiet start for Scotty Olson this fall.
Yeah, and more so than you would normally see from him.
Testing the body of Valarde.
Watch your hands.
Most of those punches taken on the gloves by Scotty Olson.
But there you saw Valarde go to the body himself. He did that against Carbajal.
Well, Olson went upstairs with a right hand that scored. Throughout conversations with Scotty Olson, the name Michael Carbajal always surfaces.
Yeah, I think, he lost to him in the Olympics. He's 1-1 against him as an amateur. They want to win a world title to make a Carbajal fight more dramatic, but clearly, eventually, Carbajal's the guy they want. You see Valarde's skill, Sam. This is why he gave Carbajal such trouble. He is a good boxer.
All right, he wants the punches up. Both guys trying to work the body, and they went borderline with the last couple of punches. That was low on the left hook by Scotty Olson.
Look at how much better Olson is when he jabs his way in. It's just such an improvement with him. They may be surprised at how well Valarde is counter-punching off the ropes, though.
Olson continues to pull Valarde back to the ropes. Went with a right uppercut that got through the gloves. I think one thing is clear, Alan, that Olson is the heavier puncher.
Yeah, except Valarde has been very sharp with those uppercuts on the inside.
Good right cross, that left working the ribs of Valarde. Coming to the end of round one.
This is an example of Olson doing good work with the right hand. Of course, during those sequences, Valarde did his work pretty well also.
On this reunion of the Bagel Boys, they could not find a room big enough for both Al and myself, so they moved us outdoors. And it's a beautiful evening here in Reno, outside the El Dorado Hotel and Casino in Reno.
Remember those movies? So big it had to be filmed in the great outdoors in the 40s and 50s, and that's what this is. It is a pleasure to have you back.
And it's really nice to be here.
And you will be for the next month or so.
Yeah, be here for the next 4 shows, including this one. Barry Tompkins away at the Tour de France. And wish him a good time over in France.
Starting on July 4th. Look at Olson ripped to the body. But you see, the important thing here is that while he's doing well, he's not totally dominating Valarde. And Valarde boxing off the ropes, not that badly.
Let go in there. Let go in the inside.
And there you see how close this is. Look at the punch profile numbers. Even with Valarde throwing a lot more, now that's an intriguing point.
Olson, though, fewer punches, but a greater percentage. He was on target, and I thought he was pretty effective in that first round.
He did do well in that first round. I mean, this is what he wants. This is his kind of bout. But in the process, he's had some trouble with reddening and swelling around the eyes. He doesn't want to get hit too much in there.
Right hand got in by Olson. He is really setting down and throwing his punches.
Great uppercuts by Olson. He's always had a good one. He's really worked on it here. And, of course, the body shots, boy, they are going to take their toll.
There's some blood coming from the mouth of Jose Luis Valarde. Exactly what I was thinking. How long can Valarde stand there and take those body shots?
Yeah, and I don't know that this, while he's doing some good work off the ropes, I don't know if this is exactly where he wants to. Oh, man. That was right hand to the body by Olson. As good a body punch as I've seen in a long time.
And the oohs and ahs can be heard throughout the crowd as Olson just rips shots at Valarde.
Well, Scotty Olson said he's a throwback, and boy, you're seeing it here. And he's in against the guy. You can see Valarde is no pushover. Remember how well he did against Carbajal and how well he's doing here, even in getting whacked.
Olson has been low several times with the left hook. Trying for the left hook to the body. He's gone low. He's only got one warning from the referee. The right uppercut gets through.
You know, there are times when we're doing these bouts, and on television, we're trying to give you the idea of how hard some of these shots are. People are wincing at ringside from these body shots Olson is hitting him. That's why the oohs and ahs from the crowd. That's why they call this guy the Bulldog, huh?
He is tough.
But you know what? There's some swelling around the left eye of Scotty Olson. It's been a recurring problem.
To this point, though, he's dominating things as we come to the end of round 2.
And going to the body with one of those thunderous shots that he landed against Valarde in the last round.
This is round 3, scheduled for 10. Scotty Olson in the red trunks. Jose Luis Valarde in the white. Valarde, 23 years old, from Mexico. Turned pro in November of '86. Won his first 14 fights. Since then, has had a losing record. 5-8 since that 14-0 start. Oh, good uppercut by Olson. Snapped the head back.
And when you saw Valarde against Carbajal, and even here, even though he's getting, dominated to some degree, you can see the skills he has. You wonder how that record. Do you know when you're fighting this close inside, not too many jabs were thrown. Only 9 jabs were thrown by those boxers in the last round.
Valarde seems to throw back some arm punches, while Olson is the man setting himself and putting his body behind his punches.
Scotty Olson pressing this attack as he's been throughout the match, and despite the fact that he's got a swollen left eye, maybe because of it, so he doesn't want those heads to bang. See, there's Valarde counterpunching.
Oh, big right hand that rocked Valarde. Just when it looked like Valarde was coming back a little bit, Olson rocks him.
The body work of Scotty Olson in this match has been among the best I've seen from him and from anybody in the last couple of months. But give Valarde credit. I'll tell you, Sam, he has taken some huge shots. He is punching back and punching back well.
Heads have been banging together in this round. Good left hook by Olson.
Olson is ripping those shots, and Valarde, remember, has come up in weight to take out the flyweight
with the left hook. Both fighters have taken turns hitting the other with low blows.
Well, they could have done this in a phone booth, huh? They did not need a... there's my cliche of the week. Could have fought this one in a phone booth. Write that one down. The Olson hook is really working.
He's coming up, comes back with that short left hook. The number of punches landed have to be phenomenal for Scotty Olson.
Yeah, and he's throwing so many. I mean, he is just 40 punches landed already in this round. Man, punch profile gives us an immediate response. They're here to serve.
Again, the good left hook to the body. Valarde has stayed right in front of Olson, hasn't given him much movement at the end of round 3. He has really worked. Scotty Olson with Richie Sandoval, his trainer.
Take some deep breaths, Scotty. Deep breaths. Breathe in deep. All right?
Wait till your mouth. Wait till your mouth. Throw the water. Throw the water. Wait till your mouth.
That one. You got that?
Here's the right hand by Scotty Olson. It grazed a little bit more than we thought, but still had an impact on Valarde and drove him back against the ropes.
All three flyweight champions are foreigners, and it's been difficult to line up a championship fight for Scotty Olson.
Yeah, and as you look at also Rodolfo Blanco, who just beat Dave McCauley, is one they are pushing to get to. Did Olson land punches in the last round? How about this percent?
67%, 42 of 63. The numbers thrown by Valarde, but look, only landed 68. Right hand scores for Scotty Olson.
And Richie Sandoval, who we heard in the court, who's done such a wonderful job with Scotty Olson, is on with us now. And Richie, Scotty's getting on the inside with Valarde and smothering him. Is that where you want him? Oh, we may or may not have Richie on the line at this moment. All right. We're getting him hooked up. As you know,
signals with him.
As you know, we have a new innovation here at Top Rank Boxing, where we get to talk to the trainer in the middle of a round. But this won't be one of those times. But we will do it soon again.
Well, they've taken turns going to different sides of the rings, perhaps to show the judges a different view each round. Now, here on this side, Valarde landing that left hook to the body.
Which actually is a very good point. When you're laying on the ropes like that, one of the judges is going to have a tough time seeing. Now they're at least laying on a different part of the ropes.
Blood has been coming from the mouth of Valarde since the second round. Olson digging the body.
Sam, he's getting as much leverage into those body shots as you could possibly want. And then a lot of them are not being blocked.
Good right hand.
He's going down.
He just works it so well, Al. He just keeps banging the body till you expect another body shot, and then he comes upstairs.
Tremendous pressure. Now, there you see Valarde counterpunching well off the ropes, but it's not enough to push the Bulldog off. You better be ready for constant pressure when you face Scotty Olson. And let me tell you, it takes something to get him out of a fight. Ramon Solis and Dio Andujar had him hurt. Good right by Olson, yeah. But they couldn't get him out of there. And if you let him stay in the bout with you, he'll get you. Still some low blows being thrown.
Well, the arms coming down. Olson continually looking for an opening in the body, and occasionally has been low. Valarde just looks worn down.
Well, and remember when they came in, look at, he pushes him right back against the ropes. They told us this morning, Richie Sandoval, Miles Strauss, Scotty Olson, we don't know if this guy can get fight backing up, but we'll find out. Well, there's nowhere else for him to back up to. No. They pushed him against the rope. That's as far as he can go.
And Olson keeps banging away, as he's done since the opening bell. End of the fourth.
Here is Scotty Olson landing a counter right hand as he has Valarde against the ropes, and those rights have been big weapons for him.
Now, we mentioned that Olson thinks about Michael Carbajal, who he fought 3 times in the amateurs and lost to him twice. But one thing they emphasized, both Bruce Strauss and Richie Sandoval and Scotty Olson, was that they were focused on this fight. They needed to win this fight to get ready for a title shot. They feel only by winning a flyweight title could they then entice Michael Carbajal to step up for a big money fight.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And they also remembered how well Valarde boxed against Carbajal. And so their attitude was, you couldn't possibly take this guy for granted. And you can see you can't, because even in what Olson has done here, he has been hit with counter shots. There you look at what happened in the last round.
70%. So Olson's getting more efficient with his punches.
Really amazing. And you know, of 544 punches thrown by both these boxers, at least 70 have been jabs.
Al scorecard, all Scotty Olson.
Dominating in my mind. The first round was the closest, and since then he has just completely taken over. But boy, don't go by me. I'm the guy that told you that Rodney Moore lost by a lot last week.
I think a lot of people felt that way.
boy. That score of 98-92 for Rodney Moore was one of the most heinous miscarriages of justice I've ever seen in my life.
Come on.
But that was last week. We're here in the beautiful outdoors here in Reno. This is a great setting, isn't it?
Beautiful. It really is. A great evening.
Except for Jose Luis Valarde right now, because his left eye now is swollen, and he's taking a pounding from Scotty Olson. Well, if you like comparisons, and of course they talk about winning impressively, you got to say it. Michael Carbajal had a tough time with Valarde, and Olson's not really. So what that means exactly is another question, because boxing is all styles, right?
It gives you a measuring stick to work by. And certainly Scotty Olson has been very effective, very powerful. Valarde not doing much. Trying right here. Olson won't give him any room. Good right hand by Scotty Olson. Blood continues to drip out of the mouth of Jose Luis Valarde.
I mean, this is relentless pressure that Olson is using. Now, here's the two jabs from Olson. Got him right inside. He really has a good jab. When he needs to use it, which he hasn't tonight because he's walked his way right in, it is effective.
They've gone back to the right side now after using the far side, so they've used every side of the ring in the first 5 rounds. I'll be right back. On a Friday night is baseball night on ESPN. Major League doubleheader starts off with the Cubs and Ryan Sandberg against the Braves and Ron Gant. That's at 7:30 Eastern time. And then at 10:30 Eastern, Felix Jose. Round 6 scheduled for 10. Dominant performance for the man in the red trunks, Scotty Olson, the flyweight contender who holds the USBA title. He had something roll across the ring, looked like the sponge of one of the ring coverings.
It's a little windy out here, and that may be the understatement of the decade. Neither of our toupees are flying off, thank God. Oh, did I say that? there's round 5, and look at how Valarde, though he's still throwing a lot, landing so few, and Scotty Olson, 44%, his lowest percentage in a while, but still quite a bit landing.
I don't have much left, but it's all mine.
Oh, no, it must be me then, huh?
Good combination by Olson. Still to come, our main event, heavyweights, with Alex Garcia, ranked number 11 in the world, taking on Mike Evans.
Now, Valarde has this fight in the middle of the ring. He should endeavor at least to try and keep it there for a while, because at least he's had a modicum of success there. When he gets pushed against the ropes, it's pretty tough. Can't land his counter shot so well against Olson.
Now Olson using a little bit of a jab.
He's got a good one, and when he's on the outside working his way in, he needs it. Has on occasion not used it as much as he would like.
Scotty Olson fought for Canada in the 1988 Olympics and then lost, was eliminated from the Olympics by Michael Carbajal. And he wants only a chance to get revenge in the pro ranks.
First they won a world title, as we said, with Alpha Blanco, the IBF title holder, one of the ones they're shooting at to possibly get a match with. Of course, it's not always easy to get a title match. Scotty Olson ranked number 2 by the WBO, 3 by the IBF, 3 by the WBA, and 11 by the WBC. So he's right up there in all the rankings.
Hard to see too many people better than Scotty Olson at 112 pounds.
11th seems just a smidge low, but there have been moments when we all haven't agreed with the boxing rankings. I know you always normally do.
They call me.
Do they check with you before they have those ratings?
We have the hotline phone to Jose Sulaiman.
That's right.
Olson with constant pressure. Once again, he has backed up Valarde.
And, you know, this is a round, Sam, which his percentage of landing punches and throwing will probably be down, but, of course, he's still winning the round.
Second warning for low blows to Scotty Olson. Next time, it'll cost him a point.
It's the only round where most of the action has been in the center of the ring.
And still, Olson has command. End of the 6th.
He has some chance to do this, land the jab in the right hand against Scotty Olson. Didn't do that too much in the last round, but it can be done when he's in the right position to do it. And now he's trying to box Olson a little bit.
This is round 7, scheduled for 10. Sam Rosen along with Al Bernstein, ringside, outside of the El Dorado Casino Hotel in Reno, Nevada. Pleasure to be filling in for Barry Tompkins, who's away in France covering the Tour de France bicycle race.
The jabs, as you see, Olson really doing a good job with that jab, 13 out of 20, and that's because it was a different bout, wasn't it? It was in the center of the ring, and he adapted well to it. You know, Sam, the thing about Valarde is, to box that kind of match for him isn't natural either, because he's used to coming forward.
Yeah.
Like when we saw him against Carbajal had boxed a little bit, he's a boxer-puncher. Velarde came to him.
Well, the game plan was Olson's pressure, back up Velarde, and he has done it effectively. Velarde has spent most of the fight against the ropes, taking a pounding.
And until the last couple of rounds, it was one of the more competitive, dominated fights you're going to see, because Velarde was throwing punches and landing and still in it. Now it seems like the attrition has worn him down, and he might not be able to mount the kind of attack it would take to get him back into this bout.
Scotty Olson just seems like he sticks to his game plan very well. And he's very smart about things.
And he listens to his corners. Richie Sandoval and Mouse Strauss do a very good job of conveying to him what they want, and he listens to it. Look at the jab. See, Olson has got that excellent jab, and that's what it leads to. Terrific shots on the inside.
This seems like Velarde is starting to wilt from all the punishment. The body shots, the jabs have been effective. Just the roughhouse tactics on the inside here. Little shoulder, little elbow.
Oh, yeah, Scotty knows what to do in there, just what to get away with. And, you know, I've said this before about Olson. What you get from him is every second of every round, he gives you as honest and complete an effort as you can get from any boxer. Great condition, and he's all bad cut.
Bad cut now.
Over the left eye of Velarde. This is the kind of cut that could easily stop this bout, and I'm sure the doctor will look at it soon.
Yeah, and the referee stops the action and will call the doctor up to look at the cut. It's a real bad one, and it would not hurt if this fight were stopped.
What is ver? What is ver bien?
Velarde wants to keep fighting. He's worried that the doctor will stop it. It looks like they will continue. Velarde getting the mouthpiece back in.
Of course, the Olson head right there. There's the jab. Look at the jab setting up the right hand by Olson. That's terrible.
Like a nasty cut. Real bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped the fight at the end of this round.
Yeah, that is likely in my mind. And those shots not really having an impact on Valarde. Look at him though, he's really a tough guy. Trying to fight his way back through being hurt, the cut, all the rest. No quit in him at all, but Olson, the pressure is just immense.
Watch the heads, guys. Get it back.
End of round 7. And let's stay in the corner of Jose Luis Velarde and see if the doctor indeed takes a look and stops this fight. He's taking another look. He's giving the corner a chance to stop the bleeding.
This would be quite a challenge.
Stock car racing, he can do anything he wants.
That's true. He owns auto racing. He's a great guy.
Round 8. All Scotty Olson. The corner working on that cut to stop the bleeding at least temporarily.
Wow, what an edge for Scotty Olson. 60% landed. Just a superb performance. As fans that watch each week know in the punch profile, anything over 40 or 45% is good. Once you get into the 60% stratosphere, you're way better than good.
And to say the least about Scotty Olson, most of his punches are sharp, hard punches.
Yeah, very few.
Not pity pats.
Very few are not thrown without the intention of knocking you out. And we are now, well, this nice white shirt I had is now dotted with blood.
I've moved back 2 rows.
See, you have quicker reflexes. That's what I always remember about you in all the years we worked together. You're always quicker to move and get out of the way of that blood. You haven't lost your reflexes. I'm happy to see that, Sam. body work of Olson is Jose Luis Valarde tomorrow, he is going to be as sore as you can be. And now I feel like we're getting to the point where I just don't think Valarde has it in him to compete.
And finally just wilts a left hook to the body. Just crumpled Valarde. The count is 5.
There's no reason for this fight to continue at this point.
It's 8.
Really isn't.
He gets up at 9. Oh, man. Tremendous guts. He would have been well advised to stay down. The mouthpiece fell out. Time has been called. They'll wash it off and put it back into the mouth. But
if I was in his corner, I would stop it, and I'm not sure if I were the referee, I wouldn't stop it. Terrible cut. Yeah. He is just really in bad shape.
And the crowd, you can hear the crowd. Perhaps you can hear the crowd. Many of the fans calling for the fight to be stopped. It's just become so one-sided. And down again goes Valarde. The count is 4. And he is up at 6 with 1 minute left in round 8. There is a 3 knockdown rule in effect, and maybe that's the most merciful thing. This fight could have been stopped earlier.
Yeah, Valarde is out of it now. I don't think he has any shot to win. The cut is very bad. He's just worn down. Any body shot could send him down. I just don't know why he has to take this punishment at this point.
It's excessive at this point. This fight should have been stopped earlier. Olson just banging away. And there it is. That's it. The fight is over. And it took that kind of punishment to end it. Valarde, tremendous guts, perhaps too much for his own good. Scotty Olson with a powerful, dominant performance.
Let those people who doubted Scotty Olson when he had trouble with Andrew Howard and Ramon Solis, let them look at this performance in light of, and this is not to denigrate Michael Carbajal, who's a great champion, in light of how much trouble Carbajal had against Valarde, and let them say this man, Scotty Olson, is not a legitimate flyweight contender. They are wrong if they do that.
At 112 pounds, this man hits hard, and he throws his punches so well. He throws them in combinations. Take a look at these knockdowns. The fight could have been stopped right here.
Scotty Olson dominated this round so completely. There is the body shot that sent Valarde down.
Round number 8.
That was at the first time. Now the second knockdown, at this point, Valarde was really out of it. The hook, the right hand, and as he lay on the mat, you could see him writhing in pain, the blood dripping out of his eye, and he just had the feeling there was no way he could be competitive. But he wanted to continue, and so they let him continue, which might not have been the best idea. And the 3 knockdown rule ultimately ends it. And for Jose Luis Valarde, 2 very tough fights in a row and 2 tough losses. This guy, and I mean this, needs to box guys that he can be more competitive with and beat to show that he's a good boxer.
Let's get the official announcement from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vic Draculich enforces the 3 knockdown rule, bringing this bout to an end at 2 minutes and 31 seconds of round number 8. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, Scotty Bulldog Olson.
He's knocking on the door of a title shot. Scotty Olson, flyweight contender, scores a knockout in the 8th round. We'll be right back.